We're gonna factorize the polynomials given a zero. Okay, so imagine that I'm given for the first example that x equals to 3 is a root. Okay, so we can use synthetic division to first verify that it's true. Right, we put 3 inside the box, write the coefficients in order starting with the highest exponent. The highest exponent is x cubed, so the coefficient is 4, and it goes to -3, -25, and -6. So we lower the 4, we multiply 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 3 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. -25 plus 27 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. -6 plus 6 is 0. So definitely 3 is a root. Okay. Now, this was not just to verify. This is also to factorize. So now f of x equals, the factor theorem states that if 3 is a root, then you can write it as a factor as x minus 3. Okay. Now, what will be the other polynomial that is also a factor? Well, it's going to be this one that we divided here. 4x squared plus 9x plus 2. Now, once you have a quadratic, we can use the quadratic equation to find the other zeros. So remember the quadratic equation, negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so we're going to do -9 plus or minus radical 9 squared minus 4a, which is 4, c, which is 2, for 2 times 4. So you have -9 plus or minus radical 81 minus 16 times 2, which is 32, over 8. So -9 plus or minus radical 81 minus 32. Calculator. 81 minus 32 is 49. So 49. Okay. I have to do this every time I have to use the calculator. 49 over 8. That gives you -9 plus or minus 7 over 8. Remember, the square root of 49 is 7. Now, we split it into 2. You have -9 plus 7 over 8. And you have -9 minus 7 over 8. So this one gives you -9 plus 7 is -2 over 8. -9 minus 7 is -16 over 8. That's going to give you -1/4. And this one gives you -2. Those are your 2 extra zeros, so your function is going to factorize as follows. It's going to be x minus 3, and then x plus 1/4, because it's going to be the opposite of the sign, and x plus 2. And that will be your factorization. Okay. Now let's do one that is a little bit longer. Okay, it's a power of 5. You gotta have to do a little bit more computations. Now, usually you will be given, if it's a power of 5, you'll be given 2 zeros. I gave you 3, okay, but I will start with just the first one, 2, so you can know the dynamic. So let's start with 2, okay, inside the box. Start with 1, -4, -7, 14, -44, 120. So 2 times 1 is 2, -4 plus 2 is -2. 2 times -2 is -4. Negative 7 minus 4 is negative 11. 2 times negative 11 is negative 22. 22 minus 14. I know. I'm not a human calculator, I'm sorry. Negative 18. Negative 8. No, don't freeze on me. Come on, you got this. There it is. So negative 8. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Negative 4 minus 16 is negative 60. 2 times negative 60 is negative 120. And voila, we got a 0 here. Okay? So the factor is going to start with x minus 2. And then the next polynomial is going to be x to the 4 minus 2x cubed minus 11x squared minus 8x minus 60. Okay, we also know that 5 is a 0, so I'm going to divide 5 by the polynomial that we just got. So 5 is going to be, and then 1, negative 2, negative 11, negative 8, negative 60. Okay, and then we go down. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 11 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 8 is 12. 5 times 12 is 60. Negative 60 plus 60 is 0. So now the function is going to be factorized into x minus 2, then x minus 5, and then x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 12. Now from here you can factorize already without dividing again. Notice that we can factor this by factorizing the first two, the last two. Very similar to the x method. So it's going to be, you can factor an x squared, you're left with x plus 3. You can factor a 4, and you're left with x plus 3. So now you can factor into x squared plus 4 times x plus 3. And then the rest, x minus 5 and x minus 2. Now x squared plus 4 only factors into imaginary numbers. Okay, so it's gonna be, if you want to continue factorizing, you can notice that x squared plus 4 equals 0, means that x squared equals negative 4. You take the square root, you have plus or minus square root of negative 4, which gives you plus or minus 2i. Okay, so this becomes finally x minus 2, x minus 5, x plus 2i, and x minus 2i. And that will be, times x plus 3, my bad. And now we have the full factorization of this polynomial. If you have any question, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also to visit us at www.motiva.com for more information. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.